Kiwi, and welcome back to a new episode of Nine Soul. I know in the last episode I said I was going to take a break just to kind of rest my voice and hopefully not be as scratchy throated and allow the voice acting to be a little bit better. But I really want to play more of this game. And so I'm going to play more of this game for a little bit longer. Forgive me if the voice acting suffers a little bit for it. It's just, I'm having fun, and I'm really enjoying this game. Let's see where this elevator takes us first, and then we'll head to the left. Looks like we're going ever deeper. Alright, what have we got here? Entirely separate area, as it turns out. Okay. I don't know if I want to go super far out of my way before kind of exploring the areas we've been, because it just leaves so much backtracking for later in the game. That said, we may not really have much in the way of options. It looks like everything here is fairly gated off. Except for this. Okay, some money, a breakable wall. Anything else over here? No, it doesn't. Looks like that's... Okay, conveniently that's about all we have to explore down here, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. I assume eventually we will find a way either... We'll probably either connect this area from the left or find a way to interact with those projectile shooters over down over yonder, if you will. Alright, I don't think we have too much left to explore in this area either, especially if I can't really get back to where I came from. Oh, perfect. I can use my mid-air dash to get through. Looks like we have some hidden goodies around here, and this is going to be one of them that unlocks it. Anyway, so I don't know if I have much more to talk about with Mario Sunshine in terms of like just enjoying my time speedrunning with it. Like I said, I never really went out of my way to do individual levels or ILs, as speedrunners often abbreviate the name to. But, oh, hello. I didn't realize that guy saw me. Well, maybe I can take him out with the arrow. Couldn't take him out, but I almost did. Alright, well, I took a lot of damage, but we're healed up now. Anyway, what other games do I have, like, any sort of modicum of speedrunning? I mean, just like I said, 2D Sonics were never, like, where I actively tried to speedrun, but I did have some experience with them, namely and primarily Sonic Advance on the... Oh, Abandoned Mines chip, a memory chip containing the map data of the abandoned mines. Further analysis can be done to reveal hidden map data. Rumor has it that these mines are connected to the livestock area, but these abandoned passages have not been used for centuries. I wonder if that means this is connected to Plum Blossom Village, or Peach Blossom Village, rather, since the livestock area might refer to that? Not sure. Oh, it looks like a Shanghai is dead here. That's why we got the map chip. Oh well. Sorry, bud. Thanks for doing your job up until the very end. I'm sure you were a very good fish robot, whatever you want to call it. I see you there. You can't hide from me. I see you there. And pop goes the robot man thing. What have we got here? Evacuation notice for miners. Text from an old bamboo scroll inside the mine. This is your final warning. Evacuate immediately. The Kunlun Feng Shi Guild protects this sacred land. Defiance will result in severe consequences. Huh. So basically some invaders for like the people that I think like Lear and Yi worked with, maybe? Ancient Kunlun might have been a holy land, but it has since been devastated by the Jin mining boom. Amidst frequent warfare, illegal miners dug unauthorized tunnels to extract rare metals. It was only until Lear established the Feng Shi Guild here that the habitat of the primordial roots Fusang was spared. So basically it sounds like some greedy ne'er-do-wells were probably causing damage to the local area in the hunt for whatever resource Jin actually is. Because I kind of assume Jin is kind of just like robotic parts type stuff, but it may be more than that. We don't have a clear definition of what it is just yet. I'm sure we will soon enough. I'm gonna just pop him with a talisman. He keeps dodging like that. I'm so prone to jumping in the air against these guys that I dodge their little projectile because it goes so low. Thankfully, I reacted to that one in time. All right, so it looks like I don't want to go down just yet. Let's see. I see another reward for my attention. So carry you. I wonder if I can take these out with the charge slash, even though it's clearly intended to be a parryable enemy. I'll have to try that the next time I get an option. Big fancy chest is our reward for exploring. That's nice. Oh, that's cheap. That's so cheap. Like, what am I supposed to do against that? What if we got over here? Oh, this is another like storage transport location. I'm not gonna interact. I'll come back to this after we collect whatever it was over here that we just unlocked. There is also the area to our left, which also looks like some sort of transport area, maybe. Well, we'll take this one first because it looks like it might be it looks less official is how I would phrase it. Like, it looks like maybe we will not really have much to do with it. Just a little brief glimpse into a new area, perhaps. What do we get for our reward? Just an advanced component. All right, that means we do have a fair bit of gin kind of resting in our storage for when we want to use it. Darn it. I paused at the wrong time and just got clipped by that immediately. So Sonic Advance, it was less a speedrun and more just optimizing for ring farming, because back in the day, Sonic Advance, which was a Game Boy Advance game for context, that you could use the Game Boy Advance to Nintendo GameCube link cable to connect the two games and transport rings that you collected from Sonic Advance into Sonic Adventure 2 to use on your Chaos. The only downside to that was if the game ever was restarted, like new save file sort of restart, that ability was for some reason glitched and lost. And I did that because I'm like, I don't remember where I was in the game. I just want to restart it from the beginning. And I used to farm the first level so much. And now I can't anymore, or I couldn't anymore once that happened. And I was so bummed as a kid because I was obsessed with my Chaos as a kid. I never really got into Sonic Adventure 1 beyond just playing it for the first and only time, I would say. Namely, the Sonic Adventure 1 I played after Sonic Adventure 2, and just the quality of life and overall like aesthetic and fun that Sonic Adventure 2 provided to me as a kid just was not matched by Sonic Adventure 1. I know there are a lot of people who favor 1 over 2. Artifact, Fusang Amulet. The Solarian artifact can be a Solarian artifact that can be gifted to Xuan Xuan, a wooden amulet held by ancient miners to pray for safety. According to believers, Fusang cannot be violated, and only branches that have fallen may naturally be used, making them extremely precious. Somehow, I feel like that mentality was betrayed fairly quickly by the miners. What have we got over here? Another shortcut? Oh, hold on. I have boss senses about this. This looks like another... I'm getting... Yeah, oh, it's a single chamber with nothing obvious at the end. There's either a big reward or a big boss. Let's go. Bring it on. Oh, it's another one of you. All right. Celestial Spectre Shengdui. All right, so you like to do big sweeping attacks. Oh, this is new. Yeah. All right, I am out of heals. I'm gonna use my bow now because maybe we regenerate it later. Oh, hey, wait. This is a bow regen right there. Oh, that's huge for us. That'll be a lot of damage for us. All right. Wow, he is tanky though. Oh my goodness. Okay, you do still have that attack. So it's basically the same enemy we fought before with a couple new fancy tricks up his sleeves. Mostly projectiles and big slashy attacks. So as long as I keep moving and time my parries well, I think we have a pretty clean fight. Oh, darn it, he faked me out. I thought he was only going to do one big one. Okay, I see it's based on how he swings his arms, but I'm just going to, just out of safety principle, try and parry twice if I can. He is really tanky compared to the last one we fought though. Yeah, I'm gonna just parry out of principle. I'm gonna try and keep him over on this side because I don't think I'm killing him without a death here. Oh, this is an awkward position. I do wonder if we can die if we parry and take internal damage. I don't know for sure. I don't think there's anything I can do about that. That was just... Okay, lesson learned. Avoid keeping him too close to the wall or you won't be able to avoid that attack. Fair enough. So, how far do we have to travel to get back there? Where did I even die? Okay, we've got a bit of distance to travel. Kiwi, I will fast forward. Oh my goodness, I am so glad I checked. I'm like, there's a boss there. There has to be a closer save point because the amount of backtracking I just had to do just to get here was kind of rough. So I'm glad I found a route node. And that means this boss fight should be an easy pass on the second attempt because we have 4 heals instead of just 1. And we got him to like half to a third of his HP just from that. So I'm feeling pretty good going into this a second time. Just need to make sure I pick up my goodies and bring it on, Shen Yui. Just gonna focus on parrying and hitting him with talismans as much as possible, because that seemed to work for the last one. And where possible, just when I can't parry, I just focus on evading. Let's get out of the corner because we proved last fight that doesn't work so well. Thankfully, just barely out of range of that hit. All right, we're already a quarter done. Not bad. Oh, hello. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Kiwi, I am loving this mid-air dash. It just gives me so much extra ability to evade attacks. It's like, it's one of those things that you don't appreciate how much value it provides to combat experiences until you don't have it again. Yeah, mid-air parries and mid-air dashes are like the biggest saving grace to my overall survivability in this. All right, we've got him more than half. I'm gonna just unload all of these into him if I can. Ah, shoot. Oh no, oh dear. Once again, if I did not have my mid-air dash, I probably would have gotten hit by that. We've got some good damage on him. I'll save my last 2 bow shots for when he's closer to death. That way we can just finish him off with it. There's something really satisfying about charging up an attack because you parry properly against an enemy. But I also appreciate that, like, even if you don't have perfect timing with your parry, the game is still rewards you for even getting some amount of parry off. Like, it really rewards you for guarding, which is something that I very much miss in Dark Souls type games, where generally the reward for dodging is just you don't take damage, which can be a pretty substantial reward considering how much damage some things in Dark Souls do. This was a wasted bow shot. This is not. Oh, well, I guess not a kill, but close to it. And bam. Oh, he dodged. Bam, bam. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I was pretty confident I could beat him on second attempt. There we go. Soul Severing Blade, a weapon taken from a guard, a wrist accessory of Shangui, a celestial specter that can slice through steel. During battle, it can be concealed under sleeves to obscure attack timing. Don't know what that'll do, but I'm sure it'll be pretty cool. And a herb catalyst, that increases our healing effect? Yeah, it does. A high-quality catalyst can increase the refinement efficiency of the pipe, which significantly augments its healing ability. However, it is an expensive medicinal device that few can afford. Awesome, so we heal more now, and I don't know what that blade that we got from him does, but maybe it's used for upgrading the bow if I had to guess. Either way, that's exciting. Those are some pretty major upgrades for us, and another in roguelike fashion, another boss down is always something to be happy about. Next question is, where does this area lead to? Because presumably we are beginning to access our next area for story progression, unless I've gone completely rogue and wound up in the wrong path. Okay, so this seems to connect to the areas we've been before. Why don't we do that little bit of connection first? I saw you were aggroed to me, so I'm going to take you out first so that you're not going to hit me. And you, sir, just don't mind me. Down you go. Okay, cool. We are fully stocked up, and this... Okay, I was going to say, this looks like an area we've been to before. Oops, well, there goes our bow. I really hate that you kind of zoom out, zoom in on the map with the Y button. That just feels so unintuitive to me for some reason. Alright, what's over here first? Oh, maybe could this be the bridge? No, it's not. Oh, okay, I remember seeing this area. This was an area that we saw when we very first passed through the 8-man territory, like at the very start of the game. I think I saw this area underneath where we were traveling through. And I was like, can I go back there? I couldn't find a way to come back here. Pardon me. Alright, so let's collect what treasures we can in this area, and then we'll progress, hopefully, towards the story after that. Yeah, there's a root node right up here. Awesome. All right. I don't really need it, though, but I guess I'll rest at it so that my reset point is conserved. Let's see. I don't think I need to go that way. Oh, right. This is where we fought our first boss, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is the very beginning of the level, or of the game. Can you hear my voice my voice is just dying. I hope I don't have too much in the way of voice acting. Shenong in particular, the Eric voice I call it, because that's the character that first got that voice, is just so rough on my throat. And I promise, I did drink something in between episodes. It just clearly is not enough. So I very much will make this the last recording of the day. All right, so I think that's all the backtracking we need to do. We mostly just found some Jinn, which is fine, honestly. We don't need huge rewards for every bit of backtracking we do. But what I'll do is I'll just fast forward until we get to back where we came from. How about that? It'll give my voice a rest too. I need to stop sneezing right in the middle of transitions of the video, but it's kind of funny that keeps happening. I don't know why my sneezes are timed that way, but they are. Anyway, I figured I'd fast forward through the parts that we've already seen, but this is one more area that we haven't been to just yet, so I figure we'll record this, see what we find. This guy is getting massively overkilled with all of those talisman charges there. Looks like, oh, hello, you tricked me. These things just like immediately activate right where I land, and I'm so prone to getting hit by them. So let me talk about the Chao Garden, I guess. So Kiwi, for context, the Chao Garden was a little side content sort of thing for Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, although I really did not interact with Sonic Adventure 1's Chao Garden. I was mostly obsessed with Sonic Adventure 2's Chao Garden. And the basic idea was it was kind of like a pet keeping simulator sort of thing. The Chaos were these little, to quote the Wikipedia article I read when I was young, because I like this was a memory that just stuck with me because the description was so funny. Chaos are small pudding-like creatures. It was their description. Why they used pudding-like as their description? I mean, they have phenomenal jiggle physics, I guess, is how the only way I could explain it and like justify that description. But they're cute little creatures. You've probably seen them through various Sonic games I've played. But you could feed them and raise them and put them into combat and racing mini games. And there was a whole like side quest sort of system, not quite side quest, but not too far off from that sort of system behind them that I engaged with a lot as a kid in Sonic Adventure 2. I had a lot of Chaos. I named them. I mean, you see how I am with my characters in Dungeon Fighter and any game where I can name my characters. I get some degree of like weird attachment to them, and I'm okay with that. Like it's all for the fun of the game, you know. The enjoyment of that experience is creating those connections, even if they are superficial to the fictional characters I play as or interact or create, or, you know, any sort of. And I mean, like, it does have that kind of child rearing aesthetic to it. You're raising Chaos from their eggs to adulthood, and they can die. And oh my goodness, Kiwi, I remember I had one Chao that I named Angel, and I was obsessed with Angel. She was my baby. And oh, hold on, I was hopeful I could get out of that. Unfortunately, could not. I'm taking a lot of hits here on this guy, and he's like one of the most basic enemies we've encountered since the start of the game. Anyway, I was obsessed with Angel. So for context, Chaos kind of had stages of evolution. Once they were alive for a certain point, reached a certain I don't think level mattered. I think it was mostly just time of existence in the mortal realm of Sonic Adventure 2. These Chaos would eventually like try to evolve, and the way they try to evolve is they would. One second, I might need my attention for this since there's a time limit. Oh, there is no way there's enough time to do this. Okay. I guess this is a comeback later when you have the resources to beat it sort of thing. Oh, hold on, I'm about to die. Healing up, not taking damage here. I'm gonna try, honestly, one more time and just see. Maybe could this deactivate it? Let's try. Anyway, the Chaos were basically, they could evolve after a certain period of time, and how they evolved depended on how you raised them. Okay, that did turn it off, awesome. Okay, so maybe those other red laser shooting enemies that were guarding walls were also had nymph nodes that I missed. I'll have to pay a little bit more close attention to them when I next encounter them. Another standard component, nothing too exciting from that. Okay, fair enough. Whatever, we're just exploring and filling out our map, and that's fine. Got enemies here that we can try and get the sneak attack on. I think I'd rather get the sneak attack on a shield enemy and then bail out. Oh, you saw nothing, good sir. Thank you for being completely oblivious to your incoming demise. Excellent. And so ultimately, when the Chao was at the time of evolution, it had the option of dying, and there are certain reasons for it to die. It being extremely unhappy was really the main one, and happiness in the Chao Garden was strange. So the way the Chao evolved was whether you, what the Chao evolved into, it was tiered into either angelic or like hero, I think they were angel Chaos, devil Chaos, or neutral Chaos, kind of the middle ground between the two. And the way they decided what they transformed into was dependent on which of the two categories of characters raised them: the hero characters Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, or the dark team, or the dark characters Shadow, Rouge, and Eggman. And if it was kind of an equal raising between the two, then they would potentially become neutral Chaos. Now, Angel, as the name implied, was an angel Chao. She was raised primarily by Sonic and Tails. And Knuckles, of course, but like I think most of my raising for these were usually done by probably actually Knuckles, because I used his levels to farm food for the Chaos pretty reliably. And when I wasn't farming with Knuckles, I was probably farming with Sonic. because I was practicing speedrun levels with him. But I remember Angel, in typical fashion, you've certainly experienced this, I feed things because I love them, and I loved feeding Angel. What I didn't understand is Chaos were very clear about when they were hungry and when they were not. If you handed them a piece of food and they like picked it up and then immediately like ate one bite and then put it down, they were full and didn't need to eat anymore. And it turns out that the Chow's happiness would decrease every time you tried to feed a Chow that was satiated. And I didn't understand this, so I was constantly, trying to feed my Chow. Well, okay, 3 hits and we're out. Fair enough. I can pilot this a little bit smoother. So I fed my Chow so much that it wanted to die. Basically, is the sad reality of childhood Jeff experience. The Chow genuinely like kept trying to die every time it was at the option of evolving. And the way Chows evolve or die is they make a cocoon around themselves, and you could tell whether it was a death cocoon or an evolution cocoon by its color. Death cocoons were sad and gray, whereas the evolution cocoons were various other colors, or maybe one, but they were like at minimum a light blue or a black and red highlight, sort of like Shadow's colors, if it was trying to evolve into a dark Chow. Point being, it was fairly obvious. You know what? It was a bright white, a light blue, or a black with red outline to tell if it was evolving into one of those 3 potential evolution chains. And it was a sad, dull gray if it was trying to die. Dusk Guardian case file number 1, log entry. The deceased has been confirmed to be a Dusk Guardian. It is speculated that an explosion occurred while he was on patrol. He was pierced by a piece of scaffolding when the structure collapsed and died immediately. Hello, is this how we do log entries? I can't believe I encountered something like this on my first shift. He had a lot of external injuries. It looked horrible. I hope his spirit will be able to rest in peace. I've been feeling drowsy after our last medicinal injection, but the symptoms are slowly going away. I thought I would never have been able to board New Kunlun, so imagine my surprise when I became a Dusk Guardian. It's incredible to think about it. So I'm getting the sense that maybe, like the way they describe boarding New Kunlun, I wonder if New Kunlun, this area that we're hanging out on, isn't so much a place in the world so much as maybe like a spaceship. Like maybe we are traveling in space. That would be pretty wild, especially since we know we came from a different planet and clearly abducted humans for harvesting food from as livestock. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility that we are currently on some like giant planetary station or like spaceship sort of thing. These are the voyages of the starship New Kunlun on its 5-year journey. Anyway, where was I? So basically, we already got, we have 2 skill points. That means a new level, and I think a new chi point actually for us, which will be pretty exciting. 4 chi points sounds great for us. Anyway, where was I? So Angel was trying to die because I overfed her, and she was really unhappy about it because I kept repeatedly trying to get her to eat more food. And as a result, so the thing about the death cocoon is it starts almost immediately upon entering the Chao Garden, and the Chao Garden is a reasonably sized place. So if you're going to, I actually need to see. Okay, that was not what I expected to happen. Good to see we just glitched through the floor. That was fun little squishing, glitching. Sure, why not? Oh, I'm definitely gonna get hit by that. Okay. We'll come back. I guess we'll need another nymph node to deactivate you then. Oh, wait. I think I see our solution up here. If I activate this, I bet it goes down. Oh, it's a stand on it sort of activation. Fair enough. Can I get up on this? I don't think I can travel high. No, you don't come low enough. Okay. Maybe there's another higher point we can use to get up there. Fair enough. Anyway, so every time I walked into this room and saw Angel, she would be like, oh, hi, Dad, I'm gonna die now, bye, and start forming her gray cocoon. There was, though, a realistic, very brief window of time before that cocoon started to form where I could try and pick her up. And so what I had to do is I had to go in as Sonic, use my homing attack to get like as much initial speed as possible, potentially even hitting Angel so she goes flying into the air. Oh, we have one of these guys again. I'm gonna go ahead and heal up so that I don't just eat it immediately. I still haven't figured out how to properly parry these guys, because you'd think, like, it's clearly that I'm supposed to use the Tai Chi attack, or the Tai Chi kick to parry it, but for some reason it doesn't always interact the way I want it to. Go ahead and just pop him with 3 talismans. That'll do a whole bunch of damage. Not enough to kill him, though. Oop. Wow, man, he does so much damage when we get hit by that charge. I'm gonna just finish him with the bow. Anyway. So what I had to do was I basically tackled Angel before she could spawn her cocoon, ran to where she landed, picked her up, and then held her and rocked her for like half an hour so that her hunger went down and her happiness went up. So like the main way you made Chaos happy was you fed them, you played with them, and you kind of cradled them like a baby with the characters. All the characters had the ability to pick up the Chaos and rock them back and forth and kind of soothe them. And so that was what I had to do for Angel, and I just like held her for like a full half hour. Like I think as a kid I genuinely started to cry because I thought Angel was going to be gone forever, and I was like, this is just like losing a pet, you know? You're not ready for that kind of loss as a kid. And so I genuinely just sat there at the controller, just moving the control stick back and forth, being like, you will not die on me. I will save you from death. I am so sorry. Like, I didn't understand that it was because I overfed her. I just understood that I needed to save her. And I did actually manage to save her. Angel evolved into like a tier 2 Angel Chao. And she was like my best Chao in that game for the entire playthrough pretty much. But like genuinely, as a kid, that was probably my most real experience with death, aside from like pet fish that I had. And like, I was not a good fish owner. I openly acknowledge that there were things I should have done better for these fish that I did not. Like, I overfed them. I didn't understand about anything about tank maintenance, where you're supposed to like clean out the tank, refreshen the water, or like pour out like maybe half the water, fill it with fresh water. Because ammonia, the natural byproduct of fish doing their bathroom business in the water, accumulates over time and can be toxic to them. And then the biggest thing is, well, I was like, it's a pet. What do pets like to have happen to them? Pets like to be pet. That's why they're called pets. And so I would take the fish out of the water to pet it. And then one day, one of my fish, I think it was called Beauty Fish, was the name I named it. I had Goldine the goldfish, and because of course I had a goldfish named Goldine, and then I had a beta fish, that was like a dark blue colored beta fish, that I named Beauty Fish. Because, you know, kids and their naming senses, they never make sense, and I'm not going to judge myself too much. I still have my stuffed animal doggy, and I bet you couldn't possibly guess what animal my stuffed animal doggy is. Like, kids are not that creative, and that's fine. Gain 1 additional chi charge after successfully performing a Tai Chi kick or skull kick. That's incredible. That's huge for us. That's awesome. So we get two talisman charges now. Oh, there's someone here. Oh, we're back at the area where we met the first Shanghai 9000, I think, that isn't at the pavilion. Yeah, this must be Kaofu's, like, the entrance to Kaofu's lair. Okay, that's cool. I don't think I can even go back up there, so that's fine. We've once again gained access to an area that kind of goes full circle. Let's restore our charges. I'm going to talk a little bit more, but the episode's basically at the end, so just a little bit more. We'll finish filling out this area, and then we'll call it a day. It doesn't look like there's too much to explore. Rhizomatic energy meter, rhizomatic column energy report, rhizomatic energy. How many times can I say those 2 words in a row before it just gets tiresome? Anyway, oh my goodness. I'm just gonna read it all. Rhizomatic energy meter, rhizomatic column energy report, rhizomatic energy flow results normal. Rhizomatic energy, oh my goodness, is generated when the primordial roots absorb light. Oh, okay, so this is why in that cutscene Hang was like, star milk, right? The roots absorbed energy from the shooting stars. It's because they absorb light, they absorb photons. That makes more sense. We don't need star milk. We don't need shooting star milk. That was just a weird concept. Anyway, over the past millennia, with the development of Solarian technology, methods for extracting and storing this energy have been continuously improved upon. During the Turbulent era, the GA Kingdom created the first large-scale rhizomatic columns to meet the power needs of their military. Groups of these columns were built across Penglai by various kingdoms. However, with the rise of Taoism, the columns slowly fell into despair. Anyway, so more talk on my mistakes with having a pet fish. Basically, I thought all pets were made to be pet. And it was hard to pet my fish in the water because it kept swimming away from my hands. So I would catch it and then pet it outside the water. And clearly this was traumatizing and terrifying for the fish. I understand that now. I did not understand that as a kid. I want to believe that my actions with these fish were entirely benign and with good intent, but intent doesn't necessarily forgive the outcome of my actions. And I openly acknowledge the concept of intent versus outcome are often misaligned, and in that regard, clearly my intent, as benign as it was as a kid, had some harmful outcomes, because ultimately this leads into the realization that I very likely was the cause of Beauty Fish's death. And the reason for that was, like I said, she was a very dark black or dark blue colored fish. I also owned a pair of pajamas that were basically the exact same color, and Beauty Fish slipped out of my hands because of course a fish is slippery. Artifact multi-tool kit, a Solarian artifact that can be gifted to Xuan, a sophisticated tool set crafted by the great craftsman of Ying. This is a must-have dream tool for even the most accomplished craftsman. I'm sure this is Kalfu's, and we're going to be giving it to Xuan, and he's going to be upset about it. Or Kalfu's going to be upset about it more specifically, because we're having a lot of giving things to Xuan that Kalfu would prefer having instead. Anyway, so Beauty Fish slipped out of my hands and unfortunately fell into my pajamas, like down my shirt somehow. I don't know how it happened, but the fish fell into my clothing, and I could not find it after that happened. And I just kept looking and looking and couldn't find it. And then when I finally found the fish, and I put it back in the tank because I'm like, oh no, the fish has been out of water too long. This is probably a problem. Unfortunately, the fish had gone belly up on us. And the thing about fish is their gills just need to stay moist. They can actually survive out of water for a surprisingly reasonable amount of time. Not that I'm justifying my actions or like accepting what I did as okay, but like there was a pretty sizable window that I probably could have saved this fish in, and I did not. And again, I acknowledge that the cause of that fish's death is almost guaranteed. Well, I mean, there's no questioning it. It was my fault. And I regret it. Of course I regretted it as a kid. I cried a whole lot. I kind of am upset with my parents for getting me another fish, because if a kid, for whatever animal they were taking care of, if a kid demonstrates the lack of responsibility to preserve the life that they are responsible for, they should not be granted another pet without direct supervision and clear instruction about what is to be done or not be done for its care. My parents were way more lax in that regard than I think they should have been. Granted, I never made the same mistake again. I never went to pet a fish outside of the tank. I think I still tried to pet things, but I moved on to things that were safer to get out of water, like frogs and toads. And that's where I got my Hogwarts-themed fish tank full of tadpoles and frogs. But that's a story for another day. Kiwi, I think this is where we're going to end the episode, and given the state of my throat, my voice, this is going to be the last recording of the day. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next one, and maybe I will talk about my Hogwarts fish tank. My fish tank of froggatry and tadpolery. I don't know. Kiwi, I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Sleep well, love.